Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So my name is Kudi Lawal. I'm based in London, Ontario, and this video, as the topic suggests, is going to talk about whether we should choose a 1-year program or a 2-year program. I know this dilemma is something that most people have when they are choosing programs, and everybody will say, okay, 2-year program, you're gonna get 2-year work, 3-year work permit, and a 1-year program, we're gonna get a 1-year work permit. So I'm gonna just let's break this down. I'm not going to say, okay, 1 year is the best, 2 years the best. I think, to me personally, I think it's dependent on your situation, who you are, your qualifications you have before, your experience you have before, and your finances, most especially. If you can comfortably afford a 2-year plus living expenses, way to go, you can go for it. That's more flexible, that's more relaxed, no pressure will be on you after studies. But say your finances are just enough for a 1-year program and can take care of just 1-year living expenses, what can you do? And everybody's like 2-year for 3-year work permit, 2-year for 3-year work permit, so that you be more relaxed, no pressure on you. So I'm going to say with a 2-year program, it will be a better option. I don't want to say better option than a 1-year, but the benefits of the 2-year is because you're in a country where you live on your own. Most decisions are made on your own, like individual decisions are made by yourself. So just not put extra pressure on yourself, like trying to beat the 1-year work experience mark to be able to qualify for the express entry under ECE, that's the CEC, that's the Canadian experience class category. You actually need that 1-year experience, and if you just get a 1-year work permit for the 1 year, you might not even have time to be able to put in your profile or your application before you finish, after you finish, because the PGW might expire. So let's just take it into steps, because I don't want us to mix what I'm saying. So first of all, let's see the advantages of the 2-year. As I said before, it gives you a 3-year work permit after. So it means that, let's say you study from September to April, that's 1 year. Then you now go for like May to December, that you have finished a 2-year program. Then you apply for your postgraduate work permit. Then you be given a 3-year work permit. And within that 3-year work permit, you can easily get a job. Even if it takes you like 6 months to get a job, you still have time to still work that 1 year and apply for your PR. Now, so like people say, or it's logical that the 3-year will give you more flexibility, and it won't put you under a lot of pressure and frustration and depression and like desperation, and you'll be able to do everything in a good span of time. 3 months, 3 years is a long time for you to get all these things done, for you to be able to get that and get your PR as well within that 3 years. So on the other hand, on the flip hand side, the 1 year will give you a 1-year work experience, like a 1-year work permit. So let's say you went to school from January to August. That's an 8-month period. That's like a 1 academic year. You can get a PGWP for 1 year. And people normally say, and it's actually reasonable to think that within 1 year, when will you be able to get a job? When will you be able to work that full 1 year? And when will you be able to apply for PR within 1 year? So some people think that it's actually going to be very, very like the pressure will be high, because you're doing everything in a small period of time or a little period of time. But let's see other scenarios. Let's say you can't afford to do 2 years straight away. You can also do like a 1-year program, come into Canada, finish your 1 year, and your school can actually give you another program. So it's going to be like 1+1. So you do like a 1 year, like maybe a postgraduate certificate or a postgraduate diploma for 1 year, then you do an additional one. So you just extend your study permit with IRCC, then the school give you an additional admission letter, which you'll be able to use to do your study permit extension. Then you get 2 years. So it's like 2 different certificates, but it's a 2-year program with 2 different courses. Maybe you are doing probably like you going to do project management for 1 year, then you come and do supply chain management for 1 other year. So you have 2 qualifications, and that counts 2 years program. that is also another opportunity or option if you come in with a 1 year. So after one program, you do another program, then that adds up to like 16 months or 2 academic years, and that can also give you a 3-year work permit. Or on the other hand, when you do a 1-year program and you can't still afford to do another program, or you are tired of school, you are tired of the stress, you don't want to do another program, or from back home you don't want to do another program, to succeed and not put more pressure on yourself, I think things to ace it, to get your PR as soon as possible, is just for you to be more proactive, be strategic, like have a strategy and a plan. With all these things, I think you'll be able to ace it without no pressure. Let's say, for example, I'm an individual for my home country. I've worked for like 3 years. I have working experience for my home country. I come to Canada, I study for 1 year. So now I study for 1 year. I actually qualify for CEC, that's the Canadian Experience Class, and I also qualify for the Federal Skilled Worker. Now, if I finish my program after 1 year and I go and do my 1 year Canadian experience, working experience, I can actually qualify for Express Entry for the Canadian Experience Class. But if I finish my 1 year program, even before I finish my 1 year program, I'm only eligible for Federal Skilled Worker. So I'm going to use my foreign experience for my home country. Say my foreign experience, just my foreign experience and what the qualification I already had didn't give me a good score in the pool, in the Express Entry pool. So now I have a Canadian education certificate I could add to my previous qualification. That's going to give me a good mark. So imagine you are this person that already has work experience, now you have a Canadian certificate, Canadian education, you have education from back home, you ace your IELTS to the max, you are within that 28, 29, like within that, at least you are not above like 32 years, and you are within that range, and you can get marks for age too as well. I think that with that, you might be hitting around, at least you'll be above like 420, 430. And now you might never know, when you put in your application right after school, you get your certificate, you put in your Express Entry pool, you get into the Express Entry pool, you submit your all these things, and you actually fill in the certificate profile and you get into the pool, and for all you know, the cutoff points will be maybe below what you already have, or like around that area. You can be given an invitation to apply. Then you can even get your PR even before you start working with your postgraduate work permit. So something like this, if you have work experience from back home, I don't think, if you can't afford the 2 years, I think going for 1 year makes good sense, because you already qualify for Federal Skilled Worker, and with the Federal Skilled Worker, you being in Canada, you can still apply and get your PR. At the end of the day, when we come to school here and we apply for the postgraduate work permit, it gives us the opportunity to get foreign experience. It gives us the opportunity to also apply for PR at the end of the day. So if your work experience from back home can give you this, even without starting your work permit, like, even because when you finish, let me give you a case scenario. Okay, so client A, or let's say Amma, she's a girl, she comes to Canada to study in a postgraduate program. She has actually completed, she already has work experience from back home, maybe 3 years, and that aces all the marks you can get for work experience and Express Entry. Then she comes to school here for 1 year, she aces her program, graduates like with excellent grades, and is able to, maybe she'll say she wants to do another program, or she doesn't want to do another program, and maybe her study permit that she received when she was coming in will expire in November, and she actually finishes school by August. So after school, when she's able to get her transcript, her certification, she can actually start doing, even maybe she has done her West already, she can actually start doing her West, write her IELTS before that November mark where her study permits will expire. So let's say she gets everything done for Express Entry, puts in her pool by September, then October, November, she applies for a PGW. So she has already put in her Express Entry, and within that time there might be draws going on, and Amma qualifies, like she gets a mark higher than the cutoff point, and she gets her ITA, like that's the invitation to apply for Express Entry, and she gets her Express Entry, and she gets a PR, she does her landing, and she still has her PGW available for her. So something like this with the 1 year program, she still aced it. So let's say she puts in her application, she, God forbid, or she's never called, she still has 1 year to go to still do Canadian experience class. So I think if you have work experience from back home and you have just enough money for 1 year living expenses, I think 1 year program also works. It also works. Don't feel, I know like this kind of problem gives a lot of dilemma, like should I do 1 year, should I do 2 years, should I do 1 year, should I do 2 years? Most of the time people like really get confused and they're in like a state of confusion to choose, because of this 3-year work experience and what's the 2 years program has. Sometimes you feel as if I don't want to come here, get stuck, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that. After spending all that money, then I can't apply for a PGW to apply for PR. It never works like that. If you are very proactive, you are strategic, it will work for you. So what if you don't have work experience? What if you don't have work experience and you want to do a 1 year program? You can come in with a 1 year program, finish your 1 year program. After you finish your 1 year program, after you finish your work on IRCC allows you to go on a break for 150 days as a student. You can take a 150-day break, which will not affect your eligibility for your postgraduate work permit. So you come in with, you can afford a 1 year program from your home country. You come in with a 1 year program, you can afford your 1 year program living expenses. But with a 2 year program, that means times 2 of what you can already afford. But ideally, you can just afford 1 year. So come in with a 1 year. Then let's say you study from January to August, you finish studying successfully, then you can take a break. From September to December, you can actually take a break. It's allowed, it's eligible, it's legal. You can take that break. When you take that break, within that break, you can work enough hours. You can work enough hours and be able to save up. You can get part-time jobs, you can save up. When you save up for that period, you can actually use that money to pay for another program. Then when you pay for another program, you can study again. But you have to be careful with this, because some schools will want you to pay before, maybe at least pay the first semester before this program starts. So you just have to strategize yourself properly. When you come in and you want to do another program, make sure you strategize and put that in mind that, okay, I want to do another program because maybe I don't have work experience from back home, and doing CEC might make me a little like the pressure will be too much for me and I can't take it. So I just want to do the 1+1. And 1+1 too is also good, because 1+1, you have a whole program in another, you have a whole certificate in another program, you have another certificate in another program. So you even have, like, you can work either in this or that. So you even have more options for you. Maybe you came in with, maybe you are doing project management and you add on supply chain, or you add on business analysis, like all these things. You have opportunities to do all these things. So by PS notes, it depends on if you qualify for those programs. So when you look at a whole program that you qualify for, you have different skills and different qualifications that you can add on your CV or your resume, and I think you'll be more marketable. So at the end of the day, to conclude, choosing a 1 year program or a 2 year program will be dependent on your situation. And if you can afford a 2 year, oh my God, go for a 2 year. But if you can't afford for a 1 year, you're so confused, just look at if you have work experience. Let's look at, you can come in with 1 year and then do another 1 year program to count for 2 years. So there are a lot of opportunities. This Canada experience is so it can be mentally draining, because I remember when I was actually doing my process, anytime I see a message, either it's Canadian immigration related or not, I still get, like, my heart skips a beat. Like, it's so, like, it's mentally draining. When you come in the country to, if you don't have any family, you don't have anyone, you make your own decisions, and that can be a bit difficult for you. So videos like this will actually help you through the process. And please again, please comment, share, like this video, subscribe, please. It really means a lot to me for you to just see, like, what I'm giving out is actually beneficial to somebody. Please and please, I really appreciate that. If you have any questions or anything specific to you and you want us to talk about it, I'll read the comments, I'll try and reply. I'm going to put my email address, my Instagram, my TikTok, anywhere you can reach me. You can DM me, we'll have a conversation. When I see the message, I'm definitely going to reply. So just to cap everything off, 1 year, 2 year is dependent on your situation, and it depends on how you can actually strategize and plan with whatever you have in your hands. But if you can literally afford a 1 year and pay for the fees and the living expenses comfortably, please go ahead for it. There are other opportunities. When you come in the country, you can do another additional year or you can actually do your federal school without Canadian certificate. So thank you very much. And if you have any other comments, you also have contributions, please add it in the comment section. If you have any questions, we can interact. Other people that read the comments, please, if you see any question you feel as if you can answer, please answer as well. I don't know everything. It's what I've researched and what I feel as if makes sense is what I'm sharing. So please, if you feel as if you don't agree with something I've said, please also share your opinion. Okay, we are learning together so that we can build a family here. Thank you so much for watching. I love you so much, and I hope to see you in my next video. Stay blessed. Bye.